Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Ripa's Airplane Showdown, a lesson in grace, boundaries, and quiet strength. There are moments in life when even the most composed, graceful people are pushed into unexpected confrontation, and today, Ripa, America's beloved morning show host, found herself at the center of a real-life airplane showdown that has now gone viral across social media. What started as a simple flight turned into a tense, uncomfortable, and strangely symbolic moment about respect, boundaries, and the everyday challenges even celebrities face. Fans around the world aren't just talking about the incident, they're connecting with it on a deeply personal level. The flight that sparked a viral moment. Kelly boarded her flight like anyone else. No fuss, no drama. She tucked her small bag neatly into the overhead bin, settled into her seat, and prepared for a peaceful journey. But then came the moment that changed everything. A fellow passenger approached the same compartment. Instead of carefully placing his luggage beside hers, he aggressively shoved his larger suitcase directly on top of Kelly's. It wasn't just careless, it felt intentional. A silent message of dominance. A subtle, "my stuff matters more than yours." Kelly later described the move as a weird flex, and millions of viewers agreed. It wasn't about luggage, it was about respect. Kelly's internal struggle, respect versus comfort. True to her nature, Kelly didn't immediately react. She sat there processing. Was that really necessary? Did he mean to do that? Should I say something? Is this worth making a scene over? Like so many of us, she wrestled with the internal debate: stay silent to avoid drama, or stand up for herself to reclaim her space. The longer she thought about it, the more uncomfortable she became. His action wasn't just rude, it put her bag at risk. More importantly, it sent a message: your presence doesn't matter. And Kelly couldn't accept that. The moment Kelly took action. Instead of escalating the situation with words, Kelly chose quiet strength. She calmly stood up, reached into the overhead bin, and gently moved the man's suitcase off her bag. No shouting, no confrontation, just a graceful correction. She repositioned her belongings, sat back down, and carried on with her flight. That simple act, dignified, controlled, yet undeniably bold, became the heart of the story. Fans admired her restraint, her clarity, and her ability to reclaim her space without losing her composure. Social media reacts. Why did this story go viral? When Kelly shared the story on her show, the internet lit up. Millions of travelers have faced similar moments: overcrowded flights, rude passengers, the quiet battle between staying silent or speaking up. Kelly's story wasn't a celebrity meltdown, it was a human moment. Comments poured in. Kelly handled it better than I ever could. This happens to me all the time. Go, Kelly. Why are people so rude on planes lately? Her relatability turned the incident into a viral sensation. Mark Consuelos steps in. Of course, Kelly's husband, actor Mark Consuelos, had thoughts of his own. When Kelly told him what happened, his reaction became another highlight. Mark immediately criticized modern boarding procedures, calling them chaotic, inefficient, and unfair. He wasn't wrong. Travel stress is at an all-time high. But more importantly, he validated Kelly's feelings. He acknowledged the disrespect. He stood firmly by her side. Fans adored this dynamic. His protective humor and her graceful strength reminded everyone why they're one of America's favorite couples. Why Kelly's response matters. On the surface, this was just an airplane inconvenience, but Kelly's response symbolized something bigger. The ability to assert yourself without losing kindness. The courage to protect your space calmly and confidently. The reminder that boundaries matter even in small moments. For many women especially, setting boundaries in public spaces can feel daunting. Kelly's choice resonated because she showed strength doesn't have to be loud. A bigger conversation. Why do people behave like this on planes? Travel today is more stressful than ever. Overcrowded flights, limited overhead space, boarding chaos, frustrations run high. But none of that excuses disrespect. Kelly's story became a reminder that courtesy still matters, respect still matters, and sometimes a small act of dignity can teach a big lesson. Kelly's emotional reflection. When Kelly reflected on the incident, she admitted it bothered her more than expected, not because of the physical act, but because of the emotional undertone. When someone aggressively places their belongings on yours, it feels dismissive. It feels like your presence doesn't count. Her honesty made the story even more powerful. It wasn't about anger, it was about self-protection, autonomy, and the refusal to let someone else define her comfort. Mark's humor, keeping it light. Mark, ever the supportive partner, added humor to the ordeal. He joked that airline boarding feels like the Hunger Games, a chaotic scramble for overhead bin space. That touch of levity kept the story relatable and fun, even while highlighting the deeper emotional undertones. Final thoughts: a lesson in strength and grace. Kelly&Ripa didn't start a fight, she didn't yell, she didn't escalate, she simply reclaimed her space with quiet strength. Her story went viral not because of drama, but because of dignity, because millions of people saw themselves in her moment. It was about boundaries, about respect, about the courage to stand up for yourself without losing your grace. And that's why Kelly's Airplane Showdown has captured headlines and touched hearts.